Paul had not yet told Megan that he had been fired. As usual, at 6 in the morning, he woke up on the alarm clock, ate breakfast, and at 7 he left the house. He took a leisurely walk around the neighbourhood and returned home about 40 minutes later. He was sure that his wife and children had already left for school and work, and now he could return home with peace of mind and get some more sleep. As a child, Paul used to hide himself from his mother the same way when he skipped classes. He would leave in the morning, supposedly for school, wait for his mother to leave for work, and then come home happy. And now he was doing the same thing. "I'll sleep until 12 o'clock, thought Paul, walking up to the 3rd floor. Then I'll have lunch, play on the computer, and before the kids come, I'll go for a walk again and come home as if after work. Life is beautiful, and I am the happiest husband and father in the world. How nice it is when a wife earns a lot and takes care of the children." But upon entering the apartment, Paul realized that the children were gone, but his wife was still home, and behind the closed door in the kitchen, she was talking to someone. Paul froze in the hallway, surprised that Megan hadn't left for work yet. He wanted to go out again, but Megan's one phrase caught his interest, and he decided to listen to the telephone conversation to the end. "If I married him for money, I miscalculated," said Megan loudly and emotionally. "He has settled down nicely. He has children, an apartment, money, and all thanks to me. And what did I get? I dreamed that he would be a good father, a caring and understanding husband. I dreamed that he would achieve a lot as an engineer. He seemed like an interesting man to me." "Am I not?" thought Paul with resentment. "Am I not an interesting person? And don't I care and understand her? I would be a chief engineer by now, if it weren't for intrigues at work and the envy of my colleagues. Not everyone is as pushy and stubborn as you, Megan. There are people like me on Earth, quiet, modest." Megan, meanwhile, continued on the phone. "Well, know me well, Walter. I'm a patient woman, and I can endure a lot. But with Paul, even my angelic patience is not enough. He's useless as a father and a husband, and he's not doing well at work either. He gave up his dissertation. He's sitting in some strange job in his factory for a penny, and he's not going to change anything. And why should he change? He's happy as he is. I got a big paycheck, so he doesn't have to worry. That's why I decided to leave him." Paul got scared. "Are you going to leave me? I don't need that. What will I live on? And most importantly, where? I'll have to move in with my mother. And who will pay the mortgage for this apartment? I can't. I don't have that kind of money, and I don't know when I will have." A few days ago, Paul was fired because he was unable to do his job properly. He did not say anything to his wife yet, deciding that in the near future he would find another job with the same salary as he had, and everything would be as before. "She's thinking of leaving me," thought Paul, lurking in the hallway. "But where are you going to go? First, you have 2 children, and second, you have nowhere to go. My mother lives here, and I can go to her at any time. But I don't know where you can go." "Walter, I have finally decided to move in with you," said Megan meanwhile. "Today and tomorrow I will pack my things, and in 2 days, as soon as he leaves for his job and the children for school, I will go away to you. Oh, by the way, about the kids, don't worry, I'll leave the kids with him. What's the big deal? He's not a stranger to them, he's their father. He's been taking care of them for almost 10 years, so let him take care of them since now. I've had enough. It's decided." "Oh, you, Megan, how you've thought of everything and decided to leave the children with me," thought Paul. "How on earth did you come up with such an idea?" "Oh, Walter, I'm not giving up the children. I will pay child support. I'm willing to give half my salary, and that's more than my hubby earns. I think with his salary, that's enough for the 3 of them. And I'll meet the kids once a week and go to the movies or something, if I'm in the mood. If I'm not in the mood, I won't go out." And if he refuses the kids, it won't be my problem either. Let him do what he wants, and I'll say, during the divorce, that he and his mother had forced me to become a mother of 2 children, and I didn't need it at all. So now they should both take care of them. He dreamed of having kids and a house. She wanted grandchildren. Well, there you have it. A house and kids and grandkids. It's all coming together. Of course, the apartment hasn't been paid off yet, but that won't be my problem, because I don't need the apartment. We need to pay a decent amount to the bank every month for 15 years, so he should pay it back, since the apartment will be his now. Oh, she's decided to pin it on me too, struck Paul. How well timed. I was fired from my job. After all, if they hadn't dismissed me, I wouldn't have come home now and found out nothing. Walter, of course I'm sure I fell out of love with him, continued Megan. He did everything possible to make it happen. It's all only his fault. After we got married, he turned from a man into a child. I do not understand how such a thing is possible. Well, just imagine. He becomes capricious, helpless. When he comes home from work, he eats, puts headphones on his head, and sticks to his computer, like a teenager of 15. Oh, you mean it's all my fault? Capricious, helpless. But what if I'm tired after work? What if my nerves are on edge? I have the right to rest after work at the computer. From anger at his wife's words, Paul even wanted to burst into the kitchen and tell Megan all this, but common sense won, and he continued to eavesdrop. I think the same, Walter. 40 years old, and he still can't let go of his childhood. He's a player. It would seem, well, take your mind, find the strength, but he doesn't. He's still playing games. He'll be playing games all his life. Do I have to suffer with him? By the way, I looked over his shoulder the other day to see what he was doing on his computer. I thought maybe he was doing something serious, but he's fighting some dragons. I'm already at the 9th level, Paul indignantly said. Do you think it's that easy? They have more and more heads on them at every level. Even if our relationship with you doesn't work out, Walter, that's okay, said Megan. The main thing for me now is to get away from him. After all, if I regret leaving, I can always come back to him. I'm sure I can. He would forgive me anything and agree to anything, only to have me always by his side. And no, it's not love, believe me. It's the fear of being without a babysitter who does everything, instead of him and to him. What? Thought Paul boldly. Come on, I'm not afraid to be without you, and I certainly won't forgive you just to have you around. That's the height of impudence. A proud and self-respecting man can't forgive such a thing, Megan. So, 2 days of my suffering with him left. I would like to see his face when he finds out how I left him with 2 children. Well, that's it. I have to go to work. I'll call you tonight. Love, kisses. Paul left the apartment as quietly as possible and ran downstairs, jumping over 2 steps. Running out into the street, he hid behind the corner of a neighbouring house and watched his entryway. Megan came out about 5 minutes later. Paul waited for a while and returned home. He quickly gathered all his things, and in 40 minutes he was on his way to his mother's house. When Megan returned home, she immediately realised that her plan had succeeded, and Paul had run away from home himself. Forgive me, Paul, but you left me no choice, thought Megan. She had tried several times before, but nothing she could say had any effect on Paul. This is my house, my children are here, you're my wife, and I'm a responsible man, so I'm not going anywhere, said Paul every time Megan ran out of patience and pointed him to the door. The children need a father, especially since we have 2 sons. Who, if not me, will teach them everything they need to know in life? Who, if not me, will prepare them for the rigours of life? And yesterday, Megan discovered that Paul had been fired from his job. She received a call from a friend in the Human Resources Department. Megan was waiting for Paul to say something about it, but he kept quiet all night, and in the morning he left the house as if nothing had happened. That's when Megan realised that Paul had decided to pretend to work. She had a strange plan, but she decided to try. She had waited for him at home, and when he came in, she started talking loudly to herself in the kitchen. Having studied her husband's character well, Megan knew that she wasn't risking much, knew that it wouldn't get any worse, and hoped for the best. And her hopes came true. Upon arriving to his mother, Paul immediately told her a terrible story, that Megan had found another man named Walter, and that she was going to run away, leaving the children and the mortgage apartment to the mercy of fate. "Bad luck is on my side," said Paul. "She brought me to the right place at the right time, and I found out about my wife's treacherous plans in time. And in the divorce, I will say that I gave up the apartment and let her pay for it. And I'll take the kids to the movies on weekends and pay alimony." "Did I trick you smartly, Megan?" inquired Paul, when the divorce proceedings were over and everyone got what he wanted. "Yeah," Megan agreed with an ironic chuckle. "You turned out to be smarter than I thought, Paul. I'll probably regret breaking up with you more than once." "That's for sure," agreed Paul. Soon he got a job at some factory as a shift foreman. Now he lives with his mother in a small apartment, pays alimony for his 2 sons, and sometimes goes to the movies with them. And he considers himself the happiest man. Megan is happy too, but she no longer wants to get married. After her divorce from her infantile husband, she enjoys the quiet life of an unmarried woman.